Hello, welcome to a brief but fun analysis of the Super Mario Brothers theme. So I'm going to play it here. Take a listen. It skips the intro. It has its own little introduction. So normally you hear da 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 da, but it goes right into the A theme. Take a listen. And then it repeats. And now we're to measure 7. It sort of repeats again, but with a little different ending. Back to measure 7. Measure 11. And now measure 15. And it goes on with a repeat and a little bit of a different ending. And we'll stop there. So there are more parts to this, but right now we're just going to analyze this first section. So first of all, it's basically very simple. It's in 4/4. It's in C major, at least in this particular version of it. And it doesn't look all that complicated. It's just really 3 parts of music. This is the bass. This is the alto, this is the soprano, but there's really not much else going on. It's not that complicated a piece. One of the things that stands out is the syncopation. So what I said about syncopation the other day, it's an accented rhythm on an unaccented beat. So if you think about 4/4, you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And you have this beat right here coming on the and of 2. So you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? And this is another one where you have 1 and. This beat right here comes on the and of 1. Dun, 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 dun. Okay? That syncopation is really, 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 really cool. And it's, but it's very simple. And the other thing, too, that you should take note is how much things repeat. How much effort there is to come up with an idea and then express that idea again. So you have syncopation in this bar, you have syncopation in this bar, you have triplets in this bar and syncopation in this bar. So it's a reoccurring theme to constantly have this syncopation. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the chromaticism. Now, this is where more advanced technique comes into play. You have chromaticism here and here and here and here, and it's not haphazard. That means the composer knew exactly what he was doing. It's used in a very specific way, and it's a way that we haven't compositionally caught up to do yet, but I will tell you this, and this hopefully will make sense. It's used in an effort to go somewhere. Okay. Notice how all the chromaticism is heading somewhere. So it's not just a random crazy note followed by another random crazy note. This F sharp leads to this F natural. This D sharp leads to this E. This G sharp leads to this A. This E flat comes from this D and goes back to this D. All of these things are meant to go somewhere. It's not just because it's I want a chromatic note, okay? So I just wanted to point that out. There are triplets, and I'm going to just say it again. They're not haphazard. They're used in a way to bring something out. And a triplet is a borrowed beat from a compound meter. And the triplet here is so wonderful because it just adds a little bit of sugar and spice, okay? Now, the last thing I'm going to point out to you is how strongly it's built. There's an introduction, and not in this particular version of it, but you hear dun 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 dun. Oh, there's 2 more things I need to point out. I forgot. You have this introduction. You have an A theme. Dun 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 dun. Well, I should say, this whole thing an A theme? Maybe. And then you have another after this very repetitive A theme and maybe A prime theme, you have a B theme, okay? And there's even a C theme. It's not meant to be a classical composition, so it doesn't have to apologize for how many themes it has. But it's very structurally sound. You know when one theme ends and when another theme stops. Okay, there's one last theme. One last thing I want to point out. Inversions. Inversion, inversion, inversion. This whole measure is one chord. One chord. It is essentially a C major chord. C, E, G, C, E, C, E, G, C, E, G, C, E, G. But they're all in different inversions. Here's the 6/4 inversion, the 1/6 inversion, and then the root position, okay? It's very, very simple but powerful to invert a chord, okay? And the harmony after that is very simple as well. 1, 1, 4, 5, which is basic harmony, flat 5, 4, and then back to 1. So for those of you who have more advanced knowledge, this is what's called a plagal cadence. But again, we're not quite there yet. But anyway, that's my little introduction to Mario Brothers piece than that, and it goes